Demonsbane by Richard A. Naik. Siggard, a warrior from the Enigmatic village of Bears Hill, found himself in a strange forest with no memory of how he got there. The last thing he remembered was standing in the shield wall at the Battle of Blackmarch, ready to face a mysterious enemy. As he wandered through the eerie forest, he encountered restless spirits and a mysterious stranger named Tyrael, who shared his fire and offered cryptic advice. Tyrael revealed that it was the Night of Souls, a time when the dead walked the earth, and warned Siggard of the horrors that transpired at Blackmarch. Despite Tyrael's warnings, Siggard was determined to uncover the truth about the battle and return to his wife Emily and their newborn child. As Siggard journeyed north towards Blackmarch, he encountered another traveler named Sarnakyle, a Vizjerei sorcerer from the distant land of Kyrgyzstan. Sarnakyle, a wanderer himself, decided to accompany Siggard on his quest. Together, they stumbled upon a gruesome scene, a village ravaged by demons, with a pyramid of severed heads as a grim testament to the massacre. The sight filled Siggard with dread, and he feared for the safety of his family. As they continued their journey, they encountered more evidence of demonic activity, confirming that a demonic army was indeed marching towards Enigmatic. Reaching the King's Road, they learned from Sarnakyle that the army of Enigmatic had been annihilated at Blackmarch, leaving few survivors. Siggard's heart sank as he realized the danger his family was in. They pressed on, their pace quickened by desperation, and soon arrived at Bears Hill. To Siggard's horror, he found his village in ruins, mirroring the devastation they had witnessed earlier. Among the pyramid of severed heads, he discovered the lifeless face of his beloved Emily, her eyes forever frozen in terror. Grief and despair overwhelmed him as he wept for his lost family. Amidst his sorrow, Sarnakyle noticed something amiss. The few survivors they encountered, led by Siggard's old acquaintance Tyrael, seemed strangely unaffected by the tragedy. Their behavior raised suspicions, and Sarnakyle's instincts as a Vizjerei warned of treachery. As night fell, their suspicions were confirmed. Tyrael and his wife, along with other villagers, revealed themselves to be possessed by demonic forces. A fierce battle ensued, and Siggard, fueled by rage and vengeance, slaughtered the possessed villagers, his sword dripping with their tainted blood. In the aftermath of the fight, Siggard felt hollow and unfulfilled. Sarnakyle explained that the true source of his suffering was not the possessed villagers, but the archdemon leading the demonic army. The wizard suggested they seek refuge in the fortified town of Brennor and prepare for the inevitable attack. As they journeyed towards Brennor, they encountered more evidence of the demonic army's destructive path, leaving a trail of death and devastation in their wake. Siggard, a warrior hailing from the quaint Enigmatic village of Bears Hill, awoke in a disorienting haze, finding himself amidst the eerie embrace of a strange forest, his memory devoid of any recollection of how he arrived at this bewildering location. The last fragments of his past that lingered in his mind were those of him standing resolute in the shield wall at the fateful Battle of Blackmarch, his heart pounding with anticipation as he prepared to face an enigmatic and unknown enemy. As he cautiously navigated the unsettling depths of the forest, he encountered an array of restless spirits that seemed to drift aimlessly through the ethereal mist, their presence sending shivers down his spine. It was during this unsettling journey that he crossed paths with a mysterious stranger named Tyrael, whose enigmatic aura and piercing gaze hinted at a wisdom that transcended the mortal realm. Tyrael, with a voice that carried the weight of ages, revealed to Siggard that it was the Night of Souls, a time when the veil between the worlds thinned, allowing the spirits of the departed to roam the earth once more. He spoke of the horrors that unfolded at Blackmarch, painting a grim picture of carnage and despair that left Siggard with a sense of foreboding. Despite the unsettling revelations and ominous warnings, Siggard's determination to uncover the truth about the battle and reunite with his beloved wife Emily and their newborn child remained unwavering. As Siggard ventured forth towards Blackmarch, fate led him to encounter another traveler named Sarnakyle, a Vizjerei sorcerer hailing from the distant and exotic land of Kyrgyzstan. Sarnakyle, a wanderer with a thirst for knowledge and a penchant for the arcane, found himself intrigued by Siggard's quest and decided to join him on his perilous journey. Together, they stumbled upon a scene that would forever be etched into their memories. A village ravaged by the demonic hordes, its once peaceful streets now littered with the remnants of a brutal massacre. A pyramid of severed heads stood as a chilling testament to the cruelty and barbarity of their attackers, leaving Siggard and Sarnakyle with a profound sense of dread and a growing fear for the safety of those they held dear. As they continued their journey, the evidence of demonic activity grew more pronounced, confirming their worst fears that a formidable army of darkness was indeed marching towards Enigmatic, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Reaching the King's Road, a well-worn path that connected the various regions of Enigmatic, Siggard and Sarnakyle learned from a passing traveler the devastating news that the army of Enigmatic had met its demise at Blackmarch, leaving only a handful of survivors to tell the tale. Siggard's heart sank as the realization of the danger his family faced washed over him, the weight of his responsibility pressing heavily upon his shoulders. Driven by desperation and a fierce determination to protect his loved ones, Siggard quickened his pace, urging Sarnakyle to keep up as they raced towards Bear's Hill. Upon arriving at his village, Siggard's worst fears were realized. Bear's Hill lay in ruins, mirroring the devastation they had witnessed in the previous village. The once familiar streets were now littered with debris and the charred remains of homes, a haunting reminder of the peaceful life that had been shattered by the demonic invasion. As Siggard approached the town square, his gaze fell upon the grim spectacle of a pyramid of severed heads, a gruesome monument to the fallen villagers. Among the lifeless faces, he recognized the delicate features and golden hair of his beloved Emily, her once bright eyes now vacant and filled with the cold emptiness of death. Grief and despair overwhelmed Siggard as he collapsed to the ground, his body racked with sobs as he mourned the loss of his wife and the uncertainty of his child's fate. Amidst the depths of Siggard's sorrow, Sarnakyle's keen senses and Vizjerei instincts detected something amiss in the village. The few survivors they encountered, led by Siggard's old acquaintance Tyrael, seemed strangely unaffected by the tragedy that had befallen their home. Their demeanor was unsettling, their expressions devoid of the grief and despair that one would expect in the wake of such a horrific event. Sarnakyle's suspicions grew with each passing moment, and his intuition as a Vizjerei warned of treachery lurking beneath the surface. As darkness enveloped the village, their suspicions were confirmed in a horrifying turn of events. Tyrael and his wife, along with several other villagers, revealed their true nature as they succumbed to the corrupting influence of demonic possession. Their eyes glowed with an evil intensity, their faces twisted into grotesque parodies of their former selves. A fierce and desperate battle ensued, with Siggard fueled by a potent cocktail of rage and vengeance, unleashing his fury upon the possessed villagers. His sword, guided by his unwavering determination, became an instrument of retribution as he cut down the traitors one by one, their tainted blood staining the ground beneath his feet. In the aftermath of the bloody confrontation, Siggard was left with a profound sense of emptiness and a gnawing feeling of unfulfillment. The act of vengeance, while momentarily satisfying, did little to ease the pain of his loss or bring him the closure he so desperately craved. Sarnakyle, with his wisdom and understanding of the demonic forces, explained to Siggard that the true source of his suffering was not the possessed villagers, but the malevolent entity that orchestrated the invasion, the archdemon leading the demonic army. The wizard suggested that they seek refuge in the fortified town of Brennor, a bastion of hope amidst the encroaching darkness, and prepare for the inevitable confrontation with the forces of hell. As they journeyed towards Brennor, the signs of the demonic army's destructive rampage became increasingly evident. Villages lay in smoldering ruins, their inhabitants slaughtered without mercy. The once fertile fields were now barren wastelands, scorched by the flames of war and the corrupting influence of demonic magic. The path to Brennor was fraught with peril, but Siggard and Sarnakyle pressed on, driven by a sense of duty and the hope of finding some respite from the relentless onslaught of darkness.